Dorothy, I know we've talked a little bit about your parents, and this is them in the picture, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And is there a special occasion here?
Their 25th year of marriage.
And did they celebrate?
They celebrated a little bit, and they had a hall that they were going to dance in, and they had an orchestra, somebody that Ma knew, and so they danced because it stormed so bad. None of us kids got there. We were only 42 miles. We were, and we never made it.
And did they celebrate it at a later date because of the weather?
They had it that night because the relatives, and they had the place rented, and the relatives were coming, and there was just relatives from town. That's all.
And what kind of marriage did your parents have?
I don't know, what do you mean?
Was it a happy marriage?
Well, I guess it is. All marriages are happy.
What stands out the most to you about your parents?
Their parents we loved, that's all I know.
Did they ever do anything that would annoy you when you were growing up?
We didn't know about it if they did. Everything was more of a hush-hush in those days, you know.
What about the things they would do for you children? What kind of things would they do for you that you think back now?
Well, they took us on that trip to Wisconsin, and then they took us to Medora once. That's all I can remember. I can't remember whether we went to South Dakota or not.
Did they ever talk about what it was like raising all of you on the farm?
That came naturally.
And your father, his parents lived pretty close?
Well, they lived only a mile away before Uncle Frank's lived there. That's where they lived. And then, of course, after Uncle Frank got married, then I don't know, they did live together for a little while. Then they moved into Richardson. They had a house here in town.
And how long did they live here in town?
I wouldn't know. I was 5 years old when Grandpa died. So, and I don't know when Grandma died. I was 14, that's what I was.
Did your father ever talk about what it was like for him?
Never.
As a child?
They never talked about that. Never.
Would he ever tell you stories or rhymes or anything like that?
Never. Can't remember. He was more of a quiet guy, I guess.
Your father was? What about your mother? Was she not the quiet type?
Well, she talked too. I don't know what you'd call it.
And what kind of things did your mother teach you growing up? What kind of skills did she help you learn?
Oh, she tried to show us how to do things in the kitchen and stuff.
Like what?
Well, she talked about washing clothes, but we didn't wash any clothes.
So what did you do around the house to help out your mother?
Cleaned house.
And what did that consist of?
Cleaning the rooms and scrubbing up.
What about changing the beds or?
And we did that. Yes, we did that too.
What was a spring cleaning like at home?
I can't remember. Can't remember that at all.
Would you clean out the barns and the house?
Oh no, not the barn.
Nothing in the barn. But what about the house? Would they go through and?
Well, we'd work in the house, but not out in the barn.
Would you do? Well, you mentioned that you babysat your siblings.
Yeah.
How many did you do that up until you left to teach?
Well, no. By this time, the others were all big enough to babysit themselves. So I got married and left home after I was old enough.
And how did your parents feel about your spouse when you first met him?
Well, I guess they liked him.
Did they ever say anything to you about what they thought of him?
No.
Would they visit you? after
Oh
they
yeah,
were married?
many times.
And what kinds of things would you do on their visits?
Oh, we'd take them out and show them the crop, and Pa enjoyed that, and Ma did too, of course. I remember getting stuck when we came from up there. It had rained quite a bit, and we came the shortcut, which we shouldn't have. And so we drove through this, and this was all mud, and so we got stuck. Well, I was big and pregnant. I was in 65, so I didn't dare do any pushing or any. So Ma went out and she pushed in the back wheel, and all the dirt flew up at her. So she got really dirty. So that's all I remember about that trip. But we were coming home from the field.
Anything else like that ever happen?
No,
Again?
no, I can't remember any of that.
Now, when you were pregnant, did you ever encounter any problems? Were you
No.
always able to make it to the hospital when you had your babies?
Yeah.
That was never a problem.
One time I just about didn't make it, but then that was the last time, but then we made it.
Well, your mother never had to worry about that with you and your siblings.
Well,
did
she didn't live with us. She lived at their place and I lived here. So
Yeah.
she didn't know about what happened here.
Did your having children ever make her want to tell you about you being young? Did she ever tell you stories about what it was like when you were a baby? No, she never told you any stories about that?
Never. No. We never told our kids anything either. So,
Did they ever ask?
no.
Well, is there anything else about your parents in this photo that you would like to add?
Just know that they look pretty nice on there.
And where would they go to take pictures like this?
Oh, I think this was taken at Osborne or whatever. You can read it better than I can. I can't see over there.
Norman Horstman?
Or Horstman.
Oh,
That was
Dickinson.
another studio that we used to go to. We went there a lot, studios.
When you were younger, would you ever go out there?
Well, after we got married. Before then, we couldn't afford it.
Now this is also your parents, correct?
Yes.
And what are they celebrating?
They're 50 years of marriage, walking out of the church.
Did they do a vow renewal?
Oh yeah, they got married in church again.
And what was that like?
It was very nice. All the cousins were there, all the kids were there, we were all there.
And what kind of things do they do during a renewal service?
Well,
Is it
the mass, and the priest does his thing, whatever. I don't know. They have a regular mass, and that takes an hour.
Did they have a reception after the mass?
Yes, we had a dinner at German Hungarian Club.
And how was that?
That was real nice. We took pictures and all that, of course. Every family, they took a picture. I was alone at the time.
Did they have dances?
Oh yes, we had dances.
Were you able to dance with your father?
Oh yes, I danced with my father already.
And what was that like?
It was real nice too.
Were a lot of people there?
Yes, all their neighbors, and they had lots of neighbors. We don't have friends like that nowadays.
It was a lot different.
Yes, it seemed like it was a lot different, and everybody was, I don't know, the same age it seemed like.
Now, did you ever feel like you were isolated growing up on the farm?
No.
Just your parents and
No.
your siblings? And were your neighbors always pretty close?
They went to the neighbors all the time, yeah.
And do you remember what they would do? Were you close with with those neighbors?
Not really. They'd play cards.
That was pretty much a normal
That was a
pastime.
normal thing, yep, normal thing. Play cards.
Well, anything else about this one that you would like to add?
No.
Were all of your siblings able to attend
Oh yes, they all come. The cousins and all the sisters and brothers came.
So it
all
was
the
a big
children.
family affair.
Yes.
So was it like a reunion then?
I was going with my second husband here at the time. In fact, they got married in August and we got married in November. So.
So it was kind of nice then.
Yeah.
Now this picture here is your immediate family.
That's my immediate family, yes.
And what can you tell us about this photo? Who do we have in this photo?
Oh, we have our children, Eugene, Charlotte, and Gerald. It was just before Eugene had his physical to the service. And then there's Bonnie and Dory, and myself and Bill.
Is this Bonnie?
No, that's Dory. Bonnie's
Dory, Bonnie.
Bonnie. Dory, and then Bonnie's the bigger one.
And when was it you got married?
To Walt. Well, this one here is Bill.
Mm-hmm.
April 11th, 1944.
And were there any interesting things that happened on that day?
No.
On your wedding day?
My aunt stole the bride.
Oh, how's that?
Well, my dress all wrinkled up because she wouldn't let go. And one of my cousins, Uncle Bernard's boy, was one of the best men. So, of course, they didn't dare let the bride be stolen or else it cost them some money. And so, of course, Aunt Pauline, she put me in a room and that's where I stayed. And she didn't care how wrinkled that dress got and whether the wrist was broke or what. But anyhow, she kept me there. So whatever the cost was to them, to him, I don't, to them, the boys all had to chip together, you know.
Was that a pretty normal occurrence for a
Yes.
bride on her wedding day? Did that happen to your sisters as well?
I can't remember that much about them. No, I can remember about Anne because they stole me instead of her. She got married at Leffer, and I had a small veil and she had a long veil, and I guess that's why they stole me instead of her. And I had to talk like everything so they wouldn't take me outside because I was not the bride. I was only a...
Why did they not think it was Anne?
Because evidently they looked at the veil and we both had veils on. And mine was short and hers was long.
Did it get cleared up pretty soon?
Oh, well, I told them and they finally believed me, you know. So.
Did Anne say anything about that?
No, I don't think so. They just laughed about it, that's all.
Now your kids in this photo, what was it like raising them out on the farm?
Well, you fed them and everything. All the older ones were helping in the field. And the second one there, he usually helped me milk cows and take care of the cattle, take care of the calves. And Charlotte was in the house taking care of the kids.
And did you teach any of your girls how to quilt, like you grew up doing?
Oh, not really. They weren't home at that time anymore.
So did you start quilting then later?
I started quilting here in town when I lived here in town, and so I didn't have time out the farm. We had more work than we knew what to do with at the time.
Now, did you ever make any of their clothes, or were they always
No,
store-bought?
no. Yes, I did make clothes. I made the two boys their suits when they were little. But graduation, I always made graduation clothes like Bonnie. And I can't remember Charlotte at all, but I know I made some of those clothes.
Was it difficult to do?
No.
Did it take you very long?
Well, I'm particular, so it takes me a little time.
And what did you teach the girls to do when they were in the house with you?
Cook, because I hated to cook. and they'd bake. Like that Bonnie there, when she was going to high school, she'd say, "Ma, I'll do everything as long as you make me this outfit." The one they've got on in graduation, she's got on graduation. I made that too. That's a wool outfit. I made it for Charlotte instead, but Bonnie wore it too. And so they cleaned and they cooked and they baked. They did everything just so I would sew.
Was that a good trade-off?
Yeah, it was to me, because I'd rather sew than to clean or to do all that stuff. Cook. I hated to cook.
So they didn't grow up with the traditional dishes like you did?
No, I did the dishes. I did the dishes.
So did you teach Charlotte to cook, and then she was able to do that at the house for you?
Those kids all learned to cook before they left home.
Did they ever say anything about it?
No, they like it.
They like to cook?
They like it.
What kind of things would they make?
Oh, anything. Dory, one time we had company here that, like Elmer and his wife, and another cousin, we'd play cards and she's in the kitchen baking chocolate chip cookies. Of course, everybody liked those, you know, so all she had to do is pass them around. They'd ate them all too if they'd have left them, you know.
Did your sons ever do any cooking?
No, they helped Dad out in the field and stuff.
And what kinds of things did they do out in the field?
They run the tractors. They combined, they hauled wheat, whatever came along, whatever the season was to be done.
And what was a typical meal time like for you when you had small children and of course your larger children there? What was a typical meal like?
Well, you cooked the meat and made a potato and some gravy and vegetables, and that was it.
That was pretty typical fare.
That's a pretty typical meal.
Did you eat at the same time every night, or did that?
Yes, well, not when they were in the field. It depended on what they were doing. If they were really seeding and want to get done, it sometimes got 11 o'clock, you know. That's farm for you, or combine or things like that. Sometimes till they got the last load of wheat home. That was late too. So.
Did that change during the winter then?
Oh yeah. In the winter time, they had to be on the bus at 7 o'clock in the morning, and so they got up early and went out and milked the cows, and I had breakfast for them, so they ate breakfast, and then they got ready for school.
And where did they go to school?
They come here, into town here.
And how far was that for them on the bus?
20 miles.
So in bad weather, what would they do?
It amounted to the same thing, only when it got cold we didn't milk like that, but we still had a feed. So.
And were the boys out doing that with their father then?
Yeah.
So it was always work. Did
There's
they ever
always
wonder
work.
After school to do anything?
Oh gosh, yes, there was lots of work for them in the evening too. The farm is work.
Did they ever involve themselves in extracurricular activities at school?
Gerald took track, and first he wrestled. Well, he wrestled, and then, like I said, the coach matched him up just by weight. He didn't match him by size, and they were pretty little. He was pretty little, and there was a big guy, but the weight was the same. He elbowed him and broke his the cheekbone up here, so the eye drooped. So of course he had to have surgery then too. And I thought that was pretty damn terrible. And I was so mad. We didn't go to the doctor right away, and then finally the coach said, "You better take him to the doctor." But I was mad. We took him to the eye doctor, and right away, of course, you have to have surgery. And then he decided you had to lay a cartilage in there. How big this cartilage is so that eye don't get too high, that was quite a thought, you know. Old Reichert was the one who did the surgery, and he did a damn good job. He did just wonderful.
And so he came out of it all right.
Yes, we had a hard time getting him out of anesthetic. We used cold water and I don't know what all, but we finally got him out of anesthetics. He must have been halfway allergic to it or whatever. But anyhow, that's how that went. So no more wrestling for him. I'd be a damn fool, I told this coach. He asked me whether he can come back to. I says, I'd be a damn fool if I'd let him go back to wrestling. I didn't want him to go there in the first place. But he did, so.
Now you mentioned before that you didn't want your children to speak German growing up. Why is that?
Because we wanted to talk about them so they wouldn't hear what was said. Stupid.
And how do you feel about that decision now?
Very stupid. Very, very stupid, yeah.
The part of their heritage that they don't know.
That they never learned. Exactly right. So as a result, I guess Bonnie went to college to take up German here. But you know, they just don't learn it like when they learn it at home.
It's a different world.
It's different.
It's a different classroom. Now this is, of course, your first husband. What happened? How long were you married?
Oh, 27.5 years.
And what happened?
He got brain tumor. He had polio when he was small. And so, of course, they had to put him in the hospital in Dickinson, and they had to put a shot in every vertebrae to treat this. And so that hurt. He jumped. They'd have to have a couple, 3 nuns sit on him to hold him down, you know. But anyhow, he got out of that, and I still think that was halfway the cause of his problems then. He ended up with headaches, and every time he went to the doctor, they gave him a vitamin instead, you know. He didn't know what to do with him, so of course, and we never went to Bismarck, so that's how he wanted to stay here. So he stayed here.
So he was a stubborn individual.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't up to me to tell what to do either, you know. So anyhow, that's the way it went. So he got brain cancer, and he had surgery and stuff, but he didn't make it.
He didn't make it through the surgery?
Well, he made it through surgery, but I mean, he got cancer. His cancer kept on growing. They could not take all of it because they did spoil his speech for him, and didn't do much good anyhow. So.
And how did your children react to it?
Oh, I guess pretty terrible. The oldest one kind of had to take over, and I think he was only 24. So he took the farm really over. I mean, he had to do everything. And the second one, he packed up and went to Colorado then, and he worked in a job there. And the Charlotte was just out of 1 year college, ready to go to second. Well, I didn't know if I could. I just didn't know if I could swing it or what. It was either that or get married. I says, go do what you want. I says, I don't know if I can swing it to send you to school again. And I could have, but I just didn't use my head, I guess. So she got married. They got married then instead. So that
and how
went.
was that?
No, that's how that went.
Did she ever come back home?
Oh, naturally they come back home to visit, but there's always one missing. I kept her home all summer because the dad was sick all summer too, you know. He died in October. And so I wasn't alone, you know, so she was there too. So, well, she took that little one there, the name to the dentist one time to have a tooth pulled. So she had to do that, and so I could stay at home with him, you know. So
was it difficult there?
It was.
Having the young girls and then your husband having problems?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And when did he pass away?
October 23rd, 1971.
And where is he buried?
He's buried here in the cemetery.
And what's the name of that cemetery?
William Haug,
The cemetery name?
St. Mary's. Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is you and
Walter Miller.
Walter Miller. And who is Walter Miller?
Well, he's from Hazen, and he's his work was road construction, but he did farming. He farmed for his mother, and then he did farm out here for Eugene one year. And then he had another place here he rented, but I don't think it was for a whole year. But anyhow.
And how did you meet him?
At a singles dance. Dances, what do you suppose?
And what was he like?
He was a quiet guy, very mild.
And how did your children feel about him?
Well, that boy there, the oldest one, and Bonnie, they just thought it was impossible, you know. But I guess it all went through. Neither one of them wanted me to get married again, but I did. I had a partner for 30-some years, almost 33 years.
And what about your youngest daughter?
To her, that was Dad. She didn't call him that, no, but to her it was Dad.
So for her, in contrast to your other older children, he was father. He was
Yeah.
father. So she didn't really know much about her real dad?
No.
Did she ever ask questions about him when she was older?
Well, I don't know. She asked a few questions, and that's about it. I mean, there wasn't much to tell her. Told her how old she was and all that, and how she played with him with flashcards to try and teach him something, and he'd get mad because this kid, you know, is supposed to teach me something.
So they had a good relationship then.
Yeah.
Now, with Walter, is it with him that you moved to town?
Oh no, I moved to town when Bill was in Richardson in the hospital. I moved in then already, and I moved upstairs at the KC Hall and rented a room up there. Big long flights of stairs.
How long were you there?
I guess we were there just a year. See, we had a trailer house at the farm, which Eugene and his wife then had bought from us. Well, we bought it for him so that he would stay at home and do the chores, because Bill realized he couldn't do all that stuff, see? And then, well, after they were married and he got to move into the house, they realized they didn't need the trailer house, see? So he put it up for sale. Well, I happened to see that paper. I don't even know what paper he had it in. And I called and asked him if I can't buy that trailer house back. He said I could. So I bought it. We moved it to town. I parked it at the trailer court. So we were up there until I got married. Well, we got married to him. We were still in the trailer house. But that year, in November, this house was done, and then we moved in here. So.
And what do you remember the most about Walter?
That he was quiet, mild.
And did he get sick in the end there, or?
Well, he got sick there. Now I don't know what. 2 years before he died, he got cancer. He got an egg. Like first of all, he had sore lip. He was a smoker, and he got a sore lip. Well, he had that cut out, Dr. Perez here in Dickinson, and then we went to...
So you went to see Dr. Perez in Richardson?
In Dickinson. We had no hospital that surgery anymore here. And then he cut that off. He was a new doctor that had just come in, and he was good. He cut that out, but he wasn't going to damage his lip, so didn't cut enough out. So we went to Mesa, and we had the camper, fifth-wheeler down there. And so anyhow, and we were just moving from this White Sands estate to this Sierra Del Court on Southern. So we set up over there when, in fact, Pauline was her husband. I don't know I think she was married already. And his brother, they moved us till we come down. So we came down anyhow after surgery and everything. And we were there for 3 months. And be darned if that damn growth didn't come back again. Okay, well, we can't go home. What grows like? You would know, you know. So I went to the office and I told them about it, and she says, take the phone book, call anybody that's got an MD in the back. I took the phone book, that's just what I did. I called some MD and told them what we needed surgery immediately, and he said he'd do it. He does it in his office. So I was pretty shocked that he did it in his office. So we had surgery, had that surgery done. Did it in the office and we went home. That was all that's to it. And it was a few days before we went on the road. So anyhow, then we went on the road and we went home. Well, that lasted, I think, 2 years. Then here, egg-like came. And by the time we seen it, you know, I don't know, he shaved every day and didn't see it. It was big. And so, of course, well, now we're going to have to go to the doctor right away. Went to that ear, nose, and throat doctor in Dickinson. He was an a-hole, but we didn't know it. So anyway, we went there. And, got to do surgery, take it out right away. Okay, we're going to go to the hospital, take it out right away. It was just to make money, that's all. That wasn't even 3 weeks, and it was full of lumps. So, well, now what do we do? When he told us it was cancer, he made us come to the clinic and to tell us, you know. He could have told me on the phone, no, he's going to tell me. Then he looked at us both, see if we were going to jump up to the ceiling. And by this time I was mad. I says, well, now where do we go? Well, he said, I usually sent my patients to Rochester. Well, okay, you should have sent us there in the first place. So we fooled around. He sent everything up there, and I think it was from Wednesday or Tuesday till the next week, Monday. Then we went to Rochester. Okay, we got there. Naturally, they can't do surgery right away. They have to let you sit another week. So, okay, we had to wait another week in there. But anyhow, they did surgery, and they cut him from one ear till the other, even to the back, to clean all that cancer out, the doctors in Rochester. Well, now we need radiation. Well, they were so nice. They had radiation here in Dickinson, so we had to go up every day, 32 times. So we did. We went up there. Well, he got shot always. Sometimes he got sick, sometimes he didn't. Anyhow, we took all those treatments. 2 years later, that damn stuff came back again in here. See, he had radiation here, but not here. Be damned if it didn't come out here, and we didn't see it again. You know, it's down here, and shirt's up there, you don't notice it. So, okay. By the time we saw it, it was in 4th degree again. So, well, now, where do we go? We was in Bismarck, and she said, looked at it, and yeah, you go. Okay, after we were up there, again, you had to wait another week before you get surgery. So then they did surgery, and they cut it, but see, there's a bone here. They could go all around, but they couldn't go through that bone. So, of course, he couldn't take it all. You go and get home, and you get some more radiation. Now radiation's closed here. Now you go to Bismarck. Well, he had Alzheimer's started, so we didn't go to Bismarck either. So in 3 months, I think, or 3 months, I think, it came back. See, March, April, May, June. By June, it was back. Okay, so we fooled. Well, it was June. I got so mad I didn't have no rest. Didn't get no rest one night here. He just kept me awake. So anyhow, I got mad, took him up to the hospital. That time we had swing beds. You go in there. Well, when I got in there, the nurse came, the one that's in charge of all that. You have to pay for all of this. He was in 3 days intensive care, you know. Oh, God. Left him in there 2 days. By then I had my rest. Took him back home. I had to pay 2 days for that. Okay, we took him home, and he was home, and then Bonnie came the week of the 9th in July. And she could see things were not good. And so she called all his family and told them. And, of course, she told her sisters and brothers all. She didn't think that he'd last too much longer, you know. But anyhow, so, okay. But I didn't take him in here anymore after that. You know, I still kept him home. Then on the 16th, which was the next week in July, she said to Dory, she called her and she says, if you want to come stay with Mom a week, you better come now. So she did. I says, and you bring Blaze along. He's the oldest one, and he knows Grandpa. You bring him along. Oh, he was going to go to camp, but I'll keep him from camp then, and I'll come down. Sure enough, she and two boys came down here then, and they stayed here a week. And so then when she came that day, the 16th, I took him then up to Dickinson. He got so bad, he couldn't find the bathroom here and stuff like that. And then one time he wanted to go in that upstairs closet here, and till I got him to the bathroom, he wet the floor, and I had a diaper on him, but that isn't enough, you know. So anyhow, that day I took him up there, and then the doctor examined him and kept him, and I had to pay every blessed cent of it. And he died then the 9th of August.
So your family was able to make it?
Oh yeah, they all came. Oh yeah, they all came. And his family too. The one from Billings had just been here a week before, and she went home and she made it too. She and her daughter came down for the funeral then, yeah.
That was definitely
it was good, alarming that she told them all, you know. You know, you're around them all the time. You don't see that stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So anyhow, that's how that went. So.
And so now you're.
So now I'm alone. What the heck am I going to do? I'm alone. Wherever I turn, I'm alone.
Well, Dorothy, is there anything else you want to add here?
I don't think so. I think I've told you everything I know.